Hey guys, welcome back, and my name is Todd with HobbyLink Japan, and today we are going to be taking a look at the first part of my build for the brand new perfect grade Unleashed RX-78-2, which was just released here December of 2020. So bit of an exciting kit. I have been, as I mentioned previously on Gundam TV and probably in other places as well, this is probably the kit that I've been looking forward to most for this entire year, because I think it was way back in March of 2020. They did preview that, or they kind of like pre-announced that this year there was going to be a new perfect grade release coming, and that it would be the RX-78. So I'm a big fan of the granddad, the RX-78. So I've been really looking forward to this kit the entire year. Probably one of the few things that I actually could really look forward to this entire year. So finally it was released, and I have started to put this guy together. So I stopped at this point in the build. So I was actually kind of thankful that the manual kind of builds it to where you get to exactly this point. So what you were seeing right here, the point that I have built up to, this is actually a point where you stop in the manual. And if you watch that unboxing that we did earlier for this kit, you might remember when we took a look at the box and when we took a look in the instruction manual as well, and I have the manual here with me so we can take a look at it again. This brand new perfect grade Unleashed has kind of these different phases to it. So let's go ahead and bring this manual here into view so we can see all of the different phases we've got going on. There we go. So there we have it. So we have there on the left, we have phase 1, which is a more bare bones inner frame, and then we have phase 2, which is that second one from the left. And actually right now the one that I have built here, this is the end of phase 2. So one thing interesting that I found was I actually had no idea where the heck phase 1 ended, because when you are building it in this manual here, here's another, it just says phase 1 and 2 on here, and I don't recall, you guys can take a look at this thing with me here. When you are building this thing, it doesn't, there's nothing to kind of call out saying, stop here if you only want to have phase 2 for this kit. So the way you build this kit in this manual, it just has you kind of go straight towards that phase 2. So I guess if you really for some reason wanted to do that phase 1 only, you would kind of have to look at the image in the beginning of the manual, figure out only what parts you need, and then just kind of stop there. So once you get here, you do the arms. So I am on, remember this manual here, at least for the instruction part, is about 60, basically 64 pages long. So 64 pages long for the instruction manual. And finishing this frame part here, I am on page 32. So page 32, this is where you finish the phase 2 part. And then actually this is where I saw what they were doing in the manual here, and then it goes on to phase 3. So phase 3, you are adding on these kind of extra, let me go back to that colored image at the beginning so you can get a better idea what I'm talking about here. So phase 3, you're adding on more of the silver parts to the inner frame. So it's still not the completed unit with the armor on the outside, but it's going to have a bit more of these, the photo etch stickers. You can see them here on the chest. So there's going to be a lot more of those going on here in the phase 3, plus these little plastic, or the silver painted kind of outer parts for that inner frame there. So that's going to look quite cool. So phase, we're on page, go back here. So that's going to be from page 32, and then you're going to go on to page 33 for that phase 3. So I'll definitely try to take a little bit of video for that. So actually the page for this phase 3 here, it starts from 33, and it's only got 3 pages to it. So this is going to be quite a rather quick and simple phase to do. It seems like not a whole lot of parts to it. Actually, now that I've completely finished this inner frame, I feel like just adding the armor to the outside of this thing is going to be really quick. So I kind of feel like I'm just about nearly done, but of course I had to stop so I could bring this guy in and be able to do this video so you guys can get a good look at that inner frame. So I think I should be able to knock out the rest of this kit much faster than it took me to put this inner frame together. So there we have it. So let's take a look at this inner frame. Let's see what we have. So as you can see here, this is a rather beautiful inner frame, I gotta say. This is probably one of the more detailed, nicely done inner frames that I have ever built on a Gundam kit that has really great detail to it. I'll bring it forward closer so you can get a good look at it in a bit, but we'll keep looking at it from afar so you can see the entire kit. But yeah, it's got really great detail throughout. Look at these metallic parts throughout the kit. So as we saw these metallic runners as we were looking at the unboxing of the kit, and once you get those parts on this inner frame, it really adds a lot to it. I feel it makes it really kind of stand out and just looks fantastic. And not only do you have those pre-painted and like chrome plated parts throughout the inside of this inner frame, but here on the back here you see those two blue metal thruster bells for his backpack there. Those were these are actually real metal parts, not just plastic but real metal parts, and they look quite nice because it just adds a bit more of realism to it. And also up here on the head, maybe this is a point where I'm going to grab this guy so we can take a closer look at him here. So up here on the head, right there for his Vulcan cannons, these two on each side, these are actual real metal pieces and they look just fantastic on there. So interesting thing to note in the instruction manual, it says please be careful when inserting these metal pieces because plastic does have a bit of giveaway to it. So I think it's just kind of worried about you trying to maybe force it down there too hard and break it, but really not difficult at all. And I guess since we have it right here, and since I have it kind of zoomed in on the head at the moment, let's just start by talking about the head here. So as you can see there, look on the side there, you can see on the inside there, you've got those chrome plated plastic pieces behind the, I'm not exactly sure what they would be called, the vents on the side of the head. So that gives it some great extra detail. And those chrome pieces themselves, actually you can see the detail on the chrome pieces underneath it. So that just looks fantastic. And then also down here on the neck, when you move the neck, actually they move as well. So it's got those movable pistons. So the upper part of the piston is in that chrome plated plastic, and then the bottom part down here where the piston goes into, that's that kind of a goldish chrome type of, I think it's more painted than plated, I would guess, because it just felt that way to me. It might actually be plated, but I couldn't quite tell you there. But yeah, we got the eyes here for this kit. Now, an interesting thing, this is one thing that I wanted to mention. So if you watched that unboxing of this kit, you did probably note that this kit came with a kind of a wide variety of stickers. So you had the regular standard marking seals, and then you had these kind of plastic metallic type of stickers. And when you're building this in the instruction manual, it does tell you actually to go ahead and put the sticker here on this top part here, as well as the eyes. However, there's a note, so be careful when you are building this kit. Be careful to read that note. It notes that if you do plan to use the lighting unit, which is included with this kit, that you should not put those stickers on. So I really want to use that lighting unit, so I'm not going to put any of those stickers on there. And I don't really see the purpose of putting those stickers on here if this helmet piece here on the front and the back, if they are molded in clear red anyway, I don't really see why you would need to put those. And for the clear yellow pieces for the eye, I mean, you could put those over if you plan to never ever turn the LED light on and you kind of just want the ambient light maybe to reflect off of those pieces and give it a little bit of extra sparkle all the time. So I guess that would be the only real use case that I can imagine for using those stickers. But yeah, you don't have to put them on there. And speaking of other clear parts, as we kind of work our way down for this kit here, so we do have these two just plain clear parts here in the chest. So I believe there's going to be those metallic, the actual like photo etch metal stickers. I believe 2 of them should be going over this vent at some point, and I think they have holes on the inside of them. So the light should be able to shine through these clear plastic pieces, and it should be able to shine through the holes on the photo etch stickers, I think, and then you'll get this really cool effect. So once I've got this kit finished, we're definitely going to be taking a look at that. I kind of look forward to seeing that. It's going to look quite awesome. And then there we can see the cockpit. We can see the figure sitting on the inside of it there, and it's got its little kind of gun sight, the targeting kind of sight type thing. And that piece, actually, I can't really fit my finger on the inside to move it, but this little gun sight type thing actually can swing up and down, so you could pose that little sight if you really wanted to. Now actually, if you're looking here at the arm, now I mentioned it did come with a wide variety of stickers, some of them being just plain old marking stickers. In the manual, when you're building this kit, it actually does instruct you at some points to put on some of these marking stickers here for the inner frame. So whenever the instruction manual actually called out for you to put on, or called out for me to put on that marking sticker, I went ahead and I put this on. So I usually kind of skip the marking stickers on the completed build just so I can finish these videos as soon as possible. But yeah, but if it ever calls out for it in the manual, then I go ahead and I put those on. All right, let's take a look at the back of this thing. Maybe we can get a closer look at this backpack, shall we? So you see here on the top, there's actually clear plastic pieces sticking out at the top of here. And of course, as you can imagine, that's where the beam saber handles are going to hold on to. And what's interesting to note about that is clear plastic. And on the inside of this backpack here, they've got these kind of clear pipes that are probably, I'm imagining, they're going to lead to the LED unit. So you should be able to get light coming out of these two plastic pieces here on the top. So I'm wondering that's going to be able to shine through the beam saber handles after it's finished. I'll have to take a look at that when it's done. But yeah, there's clear pipes kind of running inside of this backpack, so that's kind of cool. So here we've got those thruster bells. Now you can see here, and I think actually these should be able to light up as well, because as you can see on the inside of these thruster bells, we have clear red plastic pieces. So of course, because they are clear, light should be able to come through here. So I think, if my imagination is correct, I think these actually should light up once the LED unit is turned on. So the LED unit for this kit is not equipped yet. The manual, up to this point, the manual has not actually instructed you to plug that in, so there's no LED, and the backpack can just easily pop off. And actually, speaking on the back of the arm, speaking of metal pieces here, if you watch the unboxing video, there was these two kind of circular gray metal pieces. Kind of weren't really sure at that time what they were for. But yeah, these two metal pieces go on the back of the arms here, and that is going to be used for the magnet, which is included in the handle for the shield. So the shield, there's going to be no holes on this arm to plug in the shield. It should just be able to attach to the arms by using the magnet to connect to this metal piece here on the back of each arm. So you should be able to choose which arm you want to put that shield on, because it's got the little metal kind of plate there on the back of each of the arms. So that's kind of quite cool to see. And then speaking about the hands, I only have one of the hand pieces connected at this point here, but yeah, if you remember, we had that whole runner of kind of chrome plated silver pieces, and the inner part of this hand is just the chrome plated plastic there with this dark gray kind of frame plastic sandwiched over it, and it gives it a rather cool, nice looking look, wouldn't you say? Doesn't that look beautiful? And then also we've got more movable pistons here, up here, just above his just above the wrist here, and you got two pistons on each side for each arm, so that kind of looks quite cool. And moving down the waist, we have, of course, we've got the flaps for the side skirt. Everything is independently articulated there for those side skirts here. Now moving down to the legs, this is one of the rather cool looking detailed parts for this inner frame. Was you've got that chrome, the silver chrome plated piece here, and it's sandwiched inside of another one of those kind of gold chrome type of things. So you can see there's a difference of colors between the two. You sandwich these two pieces together, and it gives you this rather really cool look. So you see a lot of custom Gunpla modelers here in Japan. They tend to do this type of thing for their events and whatnot, where they kind of sandwich the really thin pieces of plastic card together, and then they make this rather cool looking, I'm not sure what the correct term for that thing is, but they've got that actually included with this kit, which looks quite cool. And then you can see other metallic pieces around this leg here, as well as more pistons here in the leg. I'm not sure if that can actually bend. So this kit is actually quite sturdy so far. So let's take a look at that for a little bit here. So there you can see the feet. The feet has a joint here in the center of it, so it should be able to move that. So it's a rather nice stiff kit. So here you can see I'm just holding it by one leg. So this kit does have it uses quite a bit of ABS plastic for the inner frame, but given the size and the weight of this kit, I kind of think that's the way they had to go, because ABS is definitely a more stronger and more sturdy type of plastic compared to the standard polystyrene. So although I might not be the biggest fan of the ABS plastics especially for like the little small HG kits, but I can definitely see why they would go with the ABS plastic for this guy, just because, yeah, they kind of need that little bit of extra strength so he doesn't break that easily. And that's actually quite cool. This is a really sturdy kit. Another thing, this kit has no screws. The original Perfect Grade RX-78, there were screws that you had to put in at points here and there, but you don't have to do that for this guy. So here you can see the leg. The leg can and should be able to move up. So there you go. You can see it does have, it's Perfect Grade, but it's got that double jointed knee and it can really move. You can see the pistons definitely stretched out there once I move this leg in this position, and the kneecap has these parts that kind of move with it as well. Let's go ahead and put this back and see if you guys can see that. It's really stiff, so it's kind of hard for me to do this and keep it on the camera here because I have to kind of block it, but let's see if we can do that. There you can see those pistons moving there on that leg piece there. That looks quite nice. So really rather nicely articulated for this guy, even though it is a giant Perfect Grade. It's kind of quite cool to see. Let me move these side skirts up a bit and let's give this guy the stretches. He's going to do splits for you guys. There you go. So yeah, he can do splits. So rather nicely articulated legs for this guy. So he should be able to do quite a number of poses for those of you that want to build Perfect Grades and do some crazy poses with it if you are that type of person. So again, here another cool articulation point is the shoulder blade, which kind of pops out, as you can see there. It kind of pops out, and then it lets you kind of angle it forward. So that will allow you to kind of reach his arm forward quite a bit. So that's kind of quite cool to see. They did a really nice job. I mean, this guy is unleashed after all, but yeah, they did a really good job as far as how much you can articulate this kit, which can be more tricky once the kit becomes large like that. So it's quite nice to see. Although to be honest with you, I think for me, once I finish this guy, and probably most people out there as well, just because of how beautiful it looks on its own, just standing still, I think most of us, if we build this kit, is probably just going to be standing somewhere in just a straight standing pose. So that would be just a statue type of thing, a really detailed, a real beautiful, real nice statue, but a statue nonetheless. So there was one thing I did forget to mention here. All right, so up to this point, I've only had to apply the photo etch metal stickers at one point, and that was here on this leg. It's not wanting to focus for me, but yeah, you can see that kind of metal shining through there, and then you can see it's got a little bunch of tiny holes on the inside of it. Yeah, so far that's the only one of those photo etch stickers that I've had to apply to this kit, and there's really nothing to them. Not difficult at all, like regular photo etch pieces are on a 1/700 scale model ship kit or any of those type of things. You don't have to worry about trying to bend them at all, which is, oh goodness, if you've ever tried to bend like a radar dish for a 1/700 scale ship kit, they can be quite little intricate puzzles, and at that scale they're really difficult. And when you're bending metal like the photo etch, you kind of only get one chance, you only get one try to bend some of these parts, because if you screw up and then you're, oh great, I gotta fix it, but when you try to bend it back, it snaps, it breaks, and then that's it, you're done. You have to either try to glue the photo etch back together or buy a new one, and it's a real big hassle. So these photo etch parts for this kit are just stupidly simple. They're more stickers than actual photo etch, to be honest with you, metal stickers. So there we have it. All right, so I'm going to continue to work on this guy here. I'm going to go ahead and go on to the phase 3, and I'll try. I'm not going to bring him back into work so I can record a good video for phase 3, but I'll see if I can record some video at home when I'm working on this guy for phase 3. And then once I get phase 3 done, I'm going to build the phase 4, and then that is it. I'm going to bring it in because the difference between phase 4 and phase 5, I'll bring this instruction manual back out. So phase 4 and phase 5, it is the same thing pretty much, just a bunch of the kind of hatches all around the kit. And we got that really nicely detailed sandwich metallic plastic pieces on the inside. You can get a good view of that with that hatch open. So yeah, you'll be able to still see parts of the inner frame once the outer armor is on. So that's kind of quite cool. So we'll do a look at the phase 4 and the phase 5 here in the next video. So all right, thank you guys out there very much for watching, and stay tuned for a look at the completed Perfect Grade Unleashed RX-78 in just a bit.